Hey y'all, hey, hope all is well with you. I'm Leslie. You can call me LesAnn. I will answer because it's still my name. Hooty hoo. So today we doing a video. Um, it's a little bit of a show and tell. So with me and some issues that I went through, and as well as some changes I have decided to make on my sewing plans. So it's been a minute, few weeks. This may be a regular occurrence until I can kind of get some stuff loaded up and planned. Do that happen often that you can't load every week? Yes, because life be lifing, and that's the sum of it. Okay, so I spoke about some things I really wanted to work on, which was to actually start to get some projects done that I had pre-cut. And a lot of them are in my project bags. These bags I kind of made out of some fabric I didn't too much care for. So I have like a few of them and have some other bags. So I decided to start going through it. Now, when I'm going through, excuse me, when I am making a decision on what I want to work on, I also make a decision as far as whether or not I really want to do it because of the thread that's in my serger. Because I don't like changing the thread in my serger. It is a pet peeve of mine. If I can keep the same one in, I'm going to do as many projects as possible with that thread before I have to change it. It's not hard changing it. I just don't like changing it. That's all. Nothing else. So one of the projects I had planned on doing, which was McCall's M8001. I'll put it up on the screen. I had planned to do it with this fabric, and I talked to you about it, which was it almost looked like a burnout stripe. Well, I really started to think about whether or not it's a style that I like. I do have a shirt made out of it, and I'll make sure I take a picture and pop it to the side of me in it. I like the shirt or the shape somewhat. It's really oversized, and I think that's why I am not like thrilled about it. I did shorten the bottom band on it, thinking that that would make a difference, but it's not making me go want to just put it on. Now, also too, not necessarily, it could not be the actual pattern. It could be the fabric. The fabric has a crepe feel. Polyester crepe. You know how the backside, if you do the satin polyester crepe, it has a little bit of a texture. Well, this has a lot of bit of texture. And that texture is like not kind of off-putting, maybe. That's the easy way to say it. It's kind of off-putting for me. It may not bother other people. I just don't like the texture. So it's like every time I touch it, it's like, So I don't know about that one. Now it's all about trying different patterns out. And that's one of my goals is going through patterns and seeing if it's going to be something I'm going to keep or get rid of. And that one's on the fence. And I'm not, like I said, I don't know if it's the style that makes me put it on a fence or the fabric. It could be the combination. So I may give it another try, but I like this fabric and I don't want to make something that I am too questionable about in the first place. So we gonna table this one. This one's definitely going to be tabled so that I don't end up with a non-wearable shirt. Now there's another shirt I can actually still do this pattern in that I kind of like. But I don't know if I like it so much that I just have to have another one. And it's more so how it's constructed towards the back. So it's a grown on sleeve shirt, which is M7976. It's a grown on sleeve. I need a little bit more room in the sleeve to accommodate the thickness of my arm. And when you need that much room, I've adjusted it, but when I did the adjustment on the pattern, it actually, maybe nobody notices, but I do. It kind of curves up on the end, and I don't like it. I don't know if it's because I'm using chiffon or how I altered it. Maybe I didn't alter it right. I don't know. So that one's I don't know. I do like it, and I did view D, and that one looks good on me. But I'm still not for sure if I want to do that one. Okay. But I'm pleased to say that I do have a couple completed garments that I want to show you. This one over here, to the side, and I'm gonna move you over a little. Okay, here is the top. The number is my call 6973. I will put the pattern to the opposite side. This is a, let me get to the side so you can see it. It is a pullover, basically t-shirt. This is one of the planned garments I wanted to fix that was actually in the project bag. And I actually had planned to make my son one and then his son one. Well, what had happened was I do not like the pattern. So this is my review of this pattern. I don't like the pattern. So the shape of this it falls more off the shoulder, first of all. The sleeve, I don't like the sleeve shape. Maybe the sleeve is just too narrow. I'm looking for a more boxy kind of look for the sleeve. I just think it doesn't give a lot of room, so it tapers in a lot. Then the placket here, going by the pattern and the way it tells you to put it in, you are actually working a little harder than you need to. Like the placket, if you know what you're doing, you should be able to use a single piece of fabric to still create the placket look without having to do the way they told me to do it. Plus, it's not a very long placket. Like I would have did the placket probably another half an inch to an inch longer, and where the dots meet and you match them up, it doesn't give any overlap at the bottom, so you can like do an extra tag down or something, and it doesn't, like I would have did a bigger box. The box that I did at the bottom for extra security is kind of short to me in comparison. Then the other thing that I don't like about this is the placket up here. It looks like a moon shape, circular, almost a circular shape pattern. If I can get the pattern, I'll put it up, or like a picture of the pattern piece, and I'll put it up. You interface it, and I just don't like. I like the placket idea. I like the placket idea, but I don't like how the placket's being put in, and I don't like the neckline. So with those things that I just, not saying that I can't learn or understand or how to do it. That's not it. I just don't like how it goes in. To put the buttonhole up here wasn't easy to do. Maybe because I did use Trico interfacing on the back side, but it could be my sewing machine. I'm just not, it's not one to write home to mama about, to daddy about, or to say you made it. For me, I'm glad I made it, but I won't make it again. So that pattern will be gone in the giveaway box, sewing box, yard box, trash box. It's going somewhere, but it's not going to stay in my house. I can tell you that one for sure. Now I know that's a little rough that I said that's a no-go. But every pattern doesn't work for everybody. There are certain parts that we like, that we may enjoy, that it comes together really well. And then sometimes it's like, ew, and that's an ew to me. So, like I said, there was a lot of things I really wanted to work on. There's a couple items that I haven't shown y'all that I've made, but I'll do a, not necessarily a roundup, but maybe of what I made recently. I may do that in a few weeks or so, because I'm probably going to work on some other things that I may not show. So the next part, you're going to see snippets of me working on the next pattern. And it's McCall's 8198. I'll drop a picture of it. So I've been wanting to, I've talked about it before, I've been wanting to make some tops. And tops, blouses, and different shirts that fit better. And styles that work best for me. And that's probably why I was wavering about that other pattern, McCall's 8001. Maybe that's why, because I really want them to make sense. Because most of the time what I'm wearing is like maxi skirts and stuff like that. Simple, not like complicated bottoms and stuff. And so the top, I still want them kind of elevated so they're not boring, but I also I want them to be kind of versatile, that I can wear them to church, wear them when I'm running errands and different things like that. So, when I picked up this pattern, my first thought was I was going to do UB, which was a short sleeve with the peplum. That was my first inclination. I was going to do that one. But then when I started to think about it, I usually am cold, even in the summertime. Right now, I'm cold and I'm at home. I really need to go get my jacket, my sweater or something. I'm cold. My husband be like, really, babe? And I'm be like, really, man? So I stay cold. So once I thought about it and I wanted to utilize as much of this fabric up, I decided to do UC. Wasn't for sure if it's going to work, but you only need 1 3/4 yards, and that's for all the way up to size 22. 22. So, so this is a fabric I use. I gotta figure out what to do with this a little bit. It may end up on the bottom of something because it's too cute, use some black material or something like that. Maybe a bottom of a pencil skirt or bias cut skirt or something. I'm not gonna, because this is a big enough piece that even if it's a sash or a belt, I can still use it. So this is the fabric. I have had this fabric, I don't know how long. And I was like, okay, this is going to have to work. So I'm probably just going to put it to the side and go ahead and keep on talking. So when I made the decision to do this one, of course, you got to take your time, think it through. I did cut the pattern pieces. I could cut the facing to fit a size 18, but I didn't cut everything to a size 18. I end up cutting 20 as well. Usually I wear a size size 18. That's the size I usually wear. But there is not a lot of ease in this one. So I was like, you know how you questionable and you be like, So I was like, no, let me go ahead and cut this size 20. Because if I cut the size 20, it's always easier to be able to go down than to try to figure out how I'm going to get some inches in it. So I cut the size 20 in all the other pattern pieces. And then because I traced the facing, I traced it to a size 20, but I cut the pattern piece to a size 18 because I wanted to have one or the other, right? I'm glad I did. So I went on and got a lot of that trimming and stuff done. I did piece the facing in the back, but that wouldn't matter because I'm interfacing it and it's on the inside. Because I was trying to leave a little bit of a scrap anyway. Then I chose to use that container right there has a lot of interfacing in it, like pieces. Often I don't use the pieces because I'd be like, where ain't somebody gonna see something? You know what? Nah, let's use them pieces up. So I kind of piecemeal the interfacing on the neckline. I fused them all into place. I did, before I actually cut the pieces out, I fused the interfacing and then I cut them out. And I did that to so that it wasn't a lot of shifting. That is one thing about this fabric. It is I believe it's a polyester, maybe a crepe. It does show needle stitching. And I realized that once I was sewing my back panels, doing the darts, and I ran out of thread while I was sewing it. What a bummer. And then after I did all that, I was like, it'll be fine. I'm not going to stress about it. One other thing I did do, I added 1.25 inches to my sleeve length. Now, it's probably long for most people. I'm sure it's probably long, but for me, I kind of like my sleeve to kind of pull. I did the elastic the length I wanted. I didn't use the guide. The sleeve length, I did the elastic. I cut it at a 9.5, but I overlapped it, so it ended up being like an 8.5, 8 3/4 when it was finished, which is good for me because most of the time I do it at an 8, and sometimes that 8 is too tight on my arm, and even though that's the size I wear, I don't want to make it where I'm uncomfortable. Because there was something I recently made, I felt that I should have went up maybe 1/2 inch on the elastic, but we ain't gonna stress about that because we still wearing our clothes. So once I got that done, I went on and decided to try to serge all the pieces, as many of the pieces as possible, all the edges as much as possible. Now, I know you don't have to serge the hemline. You don't have to serge it because you're doing a rolled hem. But for me, I did do it. And that's to give additional body to the hemline. Not because it was something wrong with it or anything. It just gives it additional body and substance when it comes to sewing that hem down. And I also took the time to iron my double rolled hem for the tie as well as the hemline. What else did I do? Well, I think that's pretty much it. I think. Oh. So as I got further in the process, I do tend to try stuff on. And this is before I put the sleeves on. I tried the body of the shirt on. And trying the body of the shirt on, it comes down a lot lower than I like. Now, the split of it is that big to allow you to comfortably pull it over your head. comfortably and to not fight, putting it on. Well, I just felt it was too exposed. I raised it about a half an inch, just over half an inch, and I thought that was enough. It wasn't. I felt that means that if I wore it, I would have to wear a tank top or a cami or something underneath it, and I didn't want to do that. So I decided to do loops and add 2 buttons. Not a hard process. So hopefully you was able to see some of the stuff that I did. If not, sorry. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the finished project. It was running away. Running away from me. All right, so here is the top. It sits perfectly on my waistline. Perfectly. Once it's a half an inch in the back lower, but once you tie it, it cinches exactly like it's supposed to. We got nice full sleeves. I still got to do some trimming. I thought I trimmed it all, but I missed some. Nice full sleeves. I really like how full these sleeves are. It's a nice, beautiful gather across the top of the sleeve head. Then we got a nice collar. Almost looks like a camp style collar, because you don't have a collar stand to it. It just sits right there. But here you can see that I did 2 buttons. You can't tell they're there. See? I did 2 buttons. These are like hexagon, almost like no, they're not hexagon. Maybe, well, a stop sign. It almost looked like a stop sign shape of buttons. These buttons I got from Mood. They had did a sale years ago, and I got a bag of buttons. I think it was like 12 or something like that for like $1 or something. It was like they were cleaning out, and I'm like, give me. Those were cute, and I almost went with a different button, but this I think complements and goes really well with the design. And I did tell you this fabric came from Walmart, right? It was a Walmart bundle from several years ago. But that's what I did with this. It has 2 darts in the back. You almost can't tell. You can kind of tell with the shaping right here where it changes on the side, where it disappears. So we got 2 big darts in the back, and I think it looks good. I did do tacking. I just tacked over at the shoulders, so the facing didn't crawl up. It's still gonna crawl up because I don't want to like top stitch around it. I don't. I know some people probably would, but I don't want to do that top stitching because I think it takes away from the look of the shirt. I still need to do some like pressing so that the roll line is adjusted, because the roll line is supposed to be further down. But I'm going to actually steam it, press it using my ham and everything, and get that roll line just right. But the question I'm sure you want to ask me a question. Go ahead and ask me. I'll tell you the question you're going to ask me. Am I going to make it again? Anybody know me? You can answer. Yeah. So this is so cute. I am so glad I did the 2 loops and put it right here. It works out perfectly. So I'm so glad that I took the time and went on and tried this pattern out, because I can actually do maybe some other modifications to it, because it's a good shape, fits well, and it gives you because I use not a cotton, because I don't know what the fabrics they suggested, but I don't never listen anyway. But it gives this particular top looks more elevated versus just a regular top or a casual look. So I'm going to give it another try in probably one of my chiffons, so that I can like wear it over some tank shirts or tank dresses and stuff like that. So I have another black, and I don't know what happened to it. I have been looking for it, but I ain't found it yet. But I had another black fabric or chiffon that I had, and I had made a kimono out of it, but I'm not wearing a kimono because kimono is just way too big. Way too big. So those are some of the plans or some of the things that has changed in my process and what I was planning to make. I've told y'all before many a times that until it's cut, nothing's guaranteed. And this is another situation that happened like that. So I'm going to show you one thing, and then I'm going to get on off of here. Hopefully I can show you, because I be having stuff in the most darndest of places. Where'd it go? Oh, come on. Okay. All right. So hopefully I will be able to get this one done in the next couple weeks. Because I had started a whole video on it, was recording everything, and got to a stopping point. And I'm going to drop the picture up of this particular project on the side. I was actually starting to work on this probably, in fact, I know it was, I was working on it during February. And this was when the Black pattern designers was support them and show their patterns off. And I had made it probably I was almost done. Oh, well, I made it pretty far. And going by the size, going by everything, let's just say it didn't fit. And I was completely disappointed. And I couldn't get no more of this fabric. And I was like, what am I going to do? Well, said LesAnn, has lost a decent amount of weight. And in the process of losing weight, I decided I was pulling it out because I was going through projects. Because we got to get this project bin emptied. Because there's too many projects in here. Too many. And I need to get them out. So, I have known me 2006. It is a corny rainbow, the corny rainbows pattern. I really like the pattern. I wasn't looking for a more stiff brocade kind of look. I wanted more of a getting ready for the summer, something I could wear to church. I could put a little tank top, because I think I was going to do it sleeveless. So I was going to do just a plain white t-shirt or something underneath it. And the thing about this particular pattern, and I'll let you know, it is a long-waisted pattern. So when I put it on, when I added the fullness in the hip area, I didn't add enough because the panel in the very back is smooth. Like most of, it just gives a lot of extra fabric in the hip area, but in the back, it is completely flat. And so when I put it on, literally the hip area affected how it was wrapping. It was not coming across these hips and this bum at all. It just wasn't. And so that was very disheartening. So I decided to try it on. And when I tried it on, it overlapped really nicely. So I'm hoping to fix this. I believe I picked up the amount of buttons I need to be able to fix this or finish it, because it says 4 buttons, but I may do more than 4. They may be hidden, but there may be more than 4, because I don't want no oopsies when I sit down. So we shall see. So this will be one of the more pressing, because I'm pretty far in the process. It's one of the more pressing ones. I am not going to tailor it down because it is a little big, and I think in the bust area, I may tailor it a little bit because I do have some binding that I did kind of in certain places on the project because of how I wanted it finished. So I'm going to take it in maybe a smidge, but not too much. And we're going to make it do what it do, okay? So that's one of the projects, as well as it's many other projects that I want to work on, because like I said, I really, really do need some clothes that I can just throw on. Not necessarily throw on. I want cuter things. I don't want boring clothes. I've been wearing I want an elevated sweatsuit. I have the fabric, I just ain't made it. There's fabrics I've just sat on that I shouldn't be sitting on anymore. I need to use them. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm purging some fabrics. 2, I'm going to be using some fabrics. 3, I'm going to just be sewing for my grandkids or my kids or somebody. Because this fabric is too much. I got it everywhere. And there's a lot of stuff that I could have had by now. I just, it's not like I ain't been sewing, because I do sew. There's no sojo issue. It's just, there's not enough time in the day to sew as much fabric I got. I'll be honest with you. So, and I do want to make a couple more just plain shirts. They're not tied in the front. They're just plain. I'm hoping to work on that. Nothing's a guarantee. I'm going to work on what I work on, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you. And hopefully I just get in a better routine. Some days is good days. Some days is not. Wait a minute. Let me tell you something before I get out of here, because I need to get out of here. I cut this pattern during the same time I cut Corny Rainbow. I done lost too much weight. The thing is going to be huge on me. They're pants. I don't even know if I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to let it go. I'm just not going to say nothing else about it. I'm not going to worry about them because they can't fit me. But I like the fabric. I had a whole look that I was planning to do. But anyway, y'all. But much love to you all. I appreciate y'all coming in, giving me love. If I missed a comment that I'm supposed to respond to, forgive me. No promises. I'm trying. It may get a love versus a comment. So forgive me. But yeah, I got a lot of things going on. A lot of things I'm trying to do. And, ain't enough time in the day. But I appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the new followers. Appreciate everybody who makes a comment. And let me know if is any of these patterns interesting to you. Would you change or make any of them? I do want to say one other thing before I get off here. On this pattern, I do plan to take my shoulder and maybe shorten it by 1/2 inch, no more than 1 inch, because it drops off my shoulder, but it doesn't really drop off like some of the other patterns I've done. So I will be making that adjustment. But I wanted to try it out first to see if I was going to like it. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right. But I'm going to get on out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on a rebound.